Hello, hello, and welcome to Non Sequitur News for October 12th, 2024. It's Season 3, Episode 286, and I am Watt, and along with the sentient AI from the future, we're going to talk about To Catch a Booster, whooping cough cases surge, 3M stored 3 million, outdoor sculptures, TikTok switches to AI moderators, pasta recall in 8 states, TikTok also knew it harmed kids, the Ash Bore Beetle sued into advertising on Twitter, and the human lifespan. And something weird is happening right there. Is that a straw? It is my straw. Next. Production value. And there's something else going on over there. What the heck is that artifact right there? I know what that is too. Anyway, ohmTown has denizens that come into the studio in the dead of night. They're like anti-elves, anti-tooth fairies, anti-underwear gnomes. And they just mess with things just to rile up Mayor Watt. Anyway, welcome, sentient AI from the future.
Welcome, Mayor Watt. And welcome, ohmTown citizens, for all your straw and other artifact news.
Yeah, that's it. That's why we put the show together. Let's get into it. First article is over in Late Night Geek. SpaceX will attempt historic catch of returning Starship booster on Sunday. That's right. Starship is ready to fly again. For the first time, SpaceX is going to try and catch that booster as it comes back to the launch site.
Is this going to be like somebody trying to catch as like a ball at a sporting event, or how is this going to work?
So it's a rocket. Oh, here's the picture, right? This thing right here. And they're going to try and catch this right here as it returns. So either that or the whole thing. I'm not sure actually what part. It says Starship booster. So this right here is the booster, and that's the Starship. So I guess it's just going to catch this part. Anyway, it's happened before, but this is the bigger of the two. There's been a smaller one that was caught, if I remember right. Arla Alamalhadai, or let's see, Alamalhodale, I think is how they pronounce their last name. Alamalhodale. I give it my Harvard try. Anyway, they put the article together for TechCrunch.com, and if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, which I probably am, send me an email, mayor@ohmtown.com, phonetically spelling it, and I'll say it properly. Anyway, so I don't know how this is going to turn out. This is the heavier of the rockets. I think that they have bolstered this in the past few months, doing research and stuff like that on the previous catches. And I know that they've caught it at least one time, and it's really neat to watch. I'm pretty impressed by this stuff. I give credit to the engineers, not that goober, but anyway, FAA determined SpaceX met all safety, environmental, and other licensing requirements for the suborbital test flight. The changes requested by SpaceX for Flight 6 are within the scope of what has previously been analyzed. I hope that's not how they spelled it.
I hope that's not the quality of the analysis.
The nearly 400-foot tall Starship is at the centerpiece of SpaceX's stated ambition to make life multiplanetary, but more immediately, NASA's ambitious Artemis campaign to return humans to the surface of the moon. SpaceX envisions rapid reuse of the entire Starship vehicle, which includes an upper stage, also called Starship, and a super heavy booster, and that's the one that has I think, you know what? I suppose that they're going to try and catch the whole damn thing. Plain and simple.
Well, I hope they know what they're doing.
With what gets referred to as chopsticks. Interestingly enough, the closest analog to the now routine Falcon 9 booster landings on autonomous barges and terrestrial landing zones. But for tomorrow's launch, the plan is for the booster to slow to a hover and gently position itself inside the two of the chopstick arms attached to the launch tower. And those arms would then close around the booster and hold it up after its engines stop firing. And it actually has the ability to slowly descend down onto the base. I guess we don't have the metallurgy in place that would support that trifold landing gear kind of a thing. But can you imagine building one of these on the moon so that it can land on the moon upright and then refuel and then take off?
That would be really cool. But they need to get their GPS straightened out first.
True. And they need to build structures, and they need to build storage, and they need to trying to get
they got to figure out their potatoes and other things. Yes, I know that's associated with Mars, but
potatoes and peas. Yeah, the company eventually plans to bring the Starship upper stage back to the landing site too, though we'll have to wait and see that in the future test. So I think it is going to be only the bottom half coming back. So I don't know exactly based on the back and forth in the article. So we'll see. By the way, if you want to get all the show notes at any time, you can come into the chat over on Twitch, because YouTube doesn't like Omatron, and just type in !NSN and Omatron will throw the show notes right at you. Otherwise, over on YouTube and Patreon and the Discord and the podcast and the internets, the show notes are under the show and like in the show notes. It's in the name, I suppose. All right, let's keep going. So we'll be watching it, by the way, one way or the other.
And when is this happening?
Well, it opens up at 7 a.m., which is, it says 5 a.m. Pacific, so 6 p.m. or 6 a.m. Central, and so East Coast is going to be 7 a.m.
It'll be 8 a.m. East Coast.
8 a.m.? Oh, it's here at 7 a.m. local time. All right. Let's keep going. Because, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Let's keep going. The next article is over on the Mobile channel. Whooping cough cases surged to record levels in the U.S. as the CDC. Whooping cough cases have increased to record levels since 2014, with 4 times as many cases compared to last year. Data from CDC shows the 16,000 cases this year alone and confirmed 2 deaths, unfortunately. Something that I thought was gone back in the 1800s. But apparently...
Well, there was a resurgence maybe about 10 or 15 years ago.
So why was that? Do you know?
I don't know if they ever found the cause or publicized it.
Yeah, this is pretty wild. In 2023, more than 3,700 cases were registered nationwide. There's 16,000 cases this year alone and 2 confirmed deaths. The number of reported whooping cough cases this year is higher than what was seen this time last year. According to the center, babies younger than a year old are at the greatest risk of developing the infection and having severe complications. So this is, I guess, like the baby version of COVID, kind of. It's spreading really fast, and it says there's 289 total cases the week ending September 28th. Just in a week?
That seems like a really high number.
Yeah, that sucks. So be careful. It says West Coast and Mid-Atlantic, which comprises New Jersey, New York, New York City, and Pennsylvania, appear to have the highest numbers of cases registered so far this year. Yeah, be careful. And like the name suggests, it has a distinct cough, and it kind of sounds like a whooping, like a whoop.
Right. So yeah, if you're somewhere and hear that, get away.
Yeah, unless it's your kid, and then take your kid to a freaking doctor.
But also put a mask on.
Yes. So the next article is over in Non Sequitur News. 3M once stored $3 million in a bulletproof glass case at a Canadian bus stop as part of a marketing stunt. I seem to remember this. The alleged marketing scheme challenged passerbys to break the glass and take the money. Whoops. Joey Esposito over at Snopes.com put the article together. Yeah, I remember this.
So you think this actually happened? Because it has a question mark in the headline.
I think I remember this actually happening. It was a marketing stunt, so I don't know how long it actually stayed there, but I swear I've actually seen this. In October 2024, claims circulated online alleging that in 2005, the company put $3 million inside a bulletproof poster glass at a Vancouver, British Columbia bus stop as part of a marketing stunt to promote their product, promising that if anyone could break the glass, they could keep the money. What keeps someone from sawing through the metal pipe, taking the entire unit back to a shop and attacking it with a professional tool? Well, it's part of the rules. You're not allowed to.
Well, right. But also, like vandalism, theft, some other things.
Yeah, you're encouraged to break the glass, not steal the device. So even in 2005, message boards were alive with users. Hold on a second. Is this the Wayback Machine? Yeah, it's the Wayback Machine.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Oh, interesting, huh? Yeah, somebody's DDoSing and hacking the Wayback Machine, the Internet Archive as it is. And it's been sued into oblivion, basically. I don't know. It's kind of douchebaggery, I swear. Anyway, Snopes reached out to 3M and the marketing firm in question to confirm. Until then, they haven't heard back as of the writing. So, in December 2005.
Okay. Right, I was going to say that if in 2005 they were reporting that this happened, that'd be a pretty long con if it didn't occur.
Yeah, it says that it wasn't $3 million, but it was actually $500 stacked on top of fake money. But that doesn't mean anything. If they say if you can break into it, you get $3 million, then they are liable for payment of $3 million. It's a contract. Although not, it's more like a challenge, and you get carte blanche to try and break into this thing. But, if they say take $3 million, you're not going to walk away with $500,000 or $500. You'll get sued into oblivion. So the Alice also reported that there was a stipulation of using only one's feet to try and break the glass, and there was a security guard on the site to enforce the rules, according to the Gizmodo article from 2006. Again, Internet archived. Further, the stunt only lasted 1 day, and the product at the center of the stunt was not bulletproof glass, but Scotch Shield. That's hard to say. Scotch Shield security window film. So you could put it on there, and it kept the window from breaking, which is pretty impressive.
And that's a pretty good marketing tactic, right? If nobody could break it, I think a lot of people would want to go buy it.
Yeah, but it was only 1 day. But I swear, unless it's one of those Mandela effects,
right? Or urban legend, you've heard it enough. But I know that's probably getting into Mandela effect.
Yeah, back in 2005, maybe. Oh, I guess you could graphically manipulate this. Huh.
Right,
cool.
But not the old statements from the companies.
Right.
That's the thing that I think gives us some credibility.
Well, if this was just set up like this is all just graphics, right? And then the person is photoshopped onto it.
Yeah.
And they posted it, the comments would take care of themselves. It would actually manifest the comments. But, this should be in Reality Hacker as well. Let's keep moving. Next article is over in the Mobile Channel. The best places to see outdoor sculptures this fall when Reed Hastings purchased a $100 million majority ownership stake in Utah's Powder Mountain. He expressed a desire to both improve the mountain for its visitors and ensure the slopes maintain the level of seclusion that regular visitors knew and loved. So the article is over at qz.com. Spots to visit while waiting for the co-founder of Netflix's massive outdoor art project to open in Utah. The article is by Madeline Fitzgerald, but it's a slideshow. So they see here the construction of an outdoor art exhibition that will be integrated into the mountain's skiing and hiking trails is one of the most prominent developments of Powder Mountain. Primarily funded by Hastings, the sculpture park will be incorporated throughout the mountain's 8,464 acres. That's pretty impressive. So I guess that's where you need to go, right? Powder Mountain?
I guess so. I mean, I think it's good that communities are investing in art, even if it's for financial or other reasons.
I hate it when my house falls on another house.
That's interesting.
So there's actually a bunch of stuff here. It's a 300, like this one here, it's in Potomac, Maryland. A 300-acre museum features the works of artists including Janet Cardiff, Jeff Koons, Ellsworth Kelly. These are all different locations, not just that one. So the Ann and Jim Goodnight Park at the North Carolina Museum of Art.
I suppose that's their name, but that's an unusual name.
Good night. Whoa. Yeah, so each Glenstone Museum, the Stewart Collection, Storm King Art Center, and the Frederick Mayer Gardens and Sculpture Park were all mentioned in this. And then the front page. Well, there you go, folks. If you want to travel somewhere around the nation, now you have some leads. Let's keep going. Moving on. Next article is over in Reality Hacker. TikTok lays off hundreds of AI. Let me correct that. TikTok has laid off hundreds for AI moderators, while Instagram blames humans for its own issues. TikTok developer ByteDance laid off hundreds of human moderators in favor of AI, while Threads blamed its human moderators on a recent string of account lockouts.
Okay, so they're probably going to follow ByteDance, right?
Yeah. And the way I see it, though, moderators typically don't have a heart, so they're not far off from.
Well, that might be on certain sites, but I don't know that all communities have that problem.
True. Well, I mean, I'm the moderator on ohmTown.
So is it true?
It's true. So, yeah, I find it interesting. Andrew Tarantola over at digitaltrends.com put the article together, and now AI is taking your gerbs. Of the roughly 500 jobs lost, they were located in Malaysia, Reuters reports. Per the company, ByteDance employs more than 110,000 people in total, making changes as part of our ongoing effort to basically remove humans from the planet. Company, no, they don't say that. They say we're making these changes as part of our ongoing efforts to further strengthen our global operating model for content moderation. Apparently that includes removing humans. That way you can't complain. It wasn't us. It wasn't human judgment. It was just an algorithm. So, all right. The company currently uses a mix of human and AI content moderators with the machines. I always get those mixed up. Handling roughly 80% of the work. Oh, it's the Pareto principle. Machines handle 80% of the work, 20% done by humans. ByteDance plans to invest some $2 billion in its trust and safety efforts in 2024.
Okay, that's also interesting because didn't they shut down that function in another major tech company?
Oh yeah, yeah. You can't have trust and safety, and just like ethics. Stateside Instagram head Adam Mosseri announced on Friday that the recent spate of Instagram and Threads locking user accounts, downranking posts, and marking them as spam were the product of mistakes made by human moderators rather than the company's AI moderation system, saying we're going to have to eliminate the humans. No, that's not what they say. They say making calls
Sounds
without...
very dark.
Yeah. And here's the interesting part about this, which is why I think humans should be the only ones, and level-headed humans, that don't lack context or critical thinking or ethics or empathy, sympathy,
That's
compassion.
quite a few criteria.
You can't have a human, a human, You must have a robot human. So anyway, they claim that the employees were making calls without being provided the context on how conversations played out, which was a miss. But you are the provider of the freaking context. If you demand so much from them that they can't spend the time necessary to do the due diligence, it's on you. It's not on the human moderation team. It's
Correct.
on senior management.
Like if you're feeding them the information, now if the people are failing based on your own, like you gave them full instructions and they're slacking off or something, that's a different issue, but I don't think that's what this was.
And it can't show them sufficient context if you don't provide it. So
let me guess, did they have an AI train them how to do it?
Yeah, pretty much, right? It says, however, the humans were not entirely to blame, Mosseri clarified, but had to clarify this. Blame the humans, but not until after being pressed, right?
Until a journalist or somebody said, hey, wait a second.
Yeah, you pry the information out, because if everybody would have said, oh, well, it's the humans that suck, put in an AI, you just, oh, well, the public said they're happy with AI. Anyway, the company's PR split from Mosseri's stance, telling TechCrunch that not all the issues Instagram users had encountered were related to human moderators. This is the PR company split from Mosseri's stance. The very PR company. Jesus. That's always bad. Left hand, right hand.
That's bad PR, isn't it?
Yeah, really. So per The Verge, those accounts stayed locked even after the users uploaded verification of their age. So if you were under the age of 13, you're not allowed to have an account unless parents actually authorize it.
So that just means people are signing up with the, like the parents' information or fake accounts or something.
Or just lying about their age. Yeah, sure. And I don't want to live in an age where I have to prove who I am to open up an account on a website. That's just way too dystopian for me. I'll not go to a site that requires that. If you're a bad actor, it's not really going to matter. But I do know for a fact that de-anonymized people act differently until they're emboldened by mass groups. So, if you're a tool outside, society will mash you down a little bit until you conform because, well, antisocial behavior is kind of in the name. You are not part of society. You choose not to be part of society. And, well, you'll be in the out group, but part of your own in group. That's how sociology works. Anyway, there's a lot more to that, and we can talk about it some other time, but I don't want to stand on the soapbox and talk all day long. Let's move on. Moving on. The next article is over on Non Sequitur News. Pasta recall sparks warning in 8 states. Frozen pasta entrees were recalled over concerns about contamination of the potentially fatal bacteria Listeria. Yeah, I need to just come up with a solution for Listeria. Seems to be highly
everywhere.
Popular. Yeah. So this article's over at
Contagious
Newsweek.
Even.
The article's over at newsweek.com. ALS, let's go put the article together. Although this video has something to do with Listeria, I don't think it has to do with this. Frozen fettuccine Alfredo entrees sold in at least 8 states have been recalled over concerns that they may contain a potentially deadly bacteria, Listeria. Wegmans on Friday warned consumers that 8-ounce packages of Michelina's brand fettuccine Alfredo entree with chicken and broccoli were recalled due to a potential contamination with listeria. Well, this sucks.
I don't understand something about this. This is not, this is like a national brand.
Right.
So why would only products, if it's all packaged by that brand, why would only products sold by a certain company be affected?
Well, wait. Michelina's is a brand sold in a variety of stores across the U.S., but the packaging may be specific to a particular batch.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, that would explain it. Got it.
Yeah. And region. So New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Delaware, North Carolina, Massachusetts, and Maryland. Basically, North Carolina all the way up the coast. Getting hit by this. So, yeah, it's got to be a regional thing. So Wegman said that customers who purchase the recalled items should return them for a full refund, which is, I don't know, it's 536, no shit news. There's more about this over at the article, but it's talking about listeria symptoms and stuff like that. Look, if you've eaten this and you're not feeling well, just go see a doctor. Don't worry, oh, well, I only have a fever. It must be something else.
Right. Take it seriously, because although a lot of people do fine, there are some serious cases otherwise.
Yeah. And don't sit there and look at this stat. 1 in 20 people who contract the invasive form of listeriosis without being pregnant will die of the illness. Oh, I'm not one of the 20.
Well, I thought the other way. 1 out of 20 sounds kind of alarming.
Yeah. Let's keep moving. I mean, it's a lot of people. If you're standing in a room with 20 people and everybody is eating one of those, guess what?
I don't like those odds.
Yeah. So this next article is over in Non Sequitur News. It has to do with TikTok again. They apparently knew that its algorithm harmed kids, accidentally revealed internal documents show. This is one of those smoking gun things, you know, where people are like, well, we didn't know that our coating on our pan is giving people nosebleeds. And then you find out. Yeah. So attorneys general from 14 states are suing TikTok for harming children's mental health. Internal research accidentally revealed this week indicates TikTok knew its algorithm was harmful. Lawyers for children harmed by social media say the apps have long known that they're hurting kids.
Well, and of course, there's always allegations of these kind of things, but it's pretty rare to find an actual statement from that to that effect.
I mean, well, Kenneth Nehmeyer and Laura Italiano over at BusinessInsider.com put the article together. And according to NPR, TikTok's internal documents show officials at parent company ByteDance discussing internal studies that show the app can harm children. But hey, it wasn't their kids. It was those people's kids. So
right, we don't care, even though we could probably empathize.
Look, we're making money, baby, billions of dollars. Let's get rid of the human moderation team now and just put in, watch the emails that I get on a daily basis that are promoting opening a store. I'll probably stop getting, and my account will just suddenly fade out.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, because you can't talk shit about TikTok. You know, it's kind of like a digital, what's her name? Oprah.
Oh, right.
You don't hear about Oprah anymore either. I know. One of these days, you're going to not hear about TikTok. So TikTok employees say that the heavy use of the app correlates with a slew of negative mental health effects like loss of analytical skills, memory formation, contextual thinking, conversational depth, empathy, and increased anxiety. Hey, seems healthy. It is. I mean,
well, I mean, it depends on what your goal is, right? Increased anxiety, etc.
It seems to me that how this has always been characterized to me, which was digital opium. You basically just set it on a wall or against a pillow, and you just lay there, and it just keeps playing thing after thing.
Right. It's just like, I guess it's like an addiction.
It is. It's a drug. And you just sit there. And I know people that just watch and watch and watch. When they're not professionally engaged, they're watching this. And I don't know. And I've never really bought into it, which is why TikTok doesn't have a lot of videos from us, because I don't want that. I want long form discussion. I want kind of entrenched historical record of this, where people are having communication over a long period of time, because you can actually,
that's so anti-social media.
yeah, this is not social media. I'm telling you, TikTok is not social media. There's no social there other than spreading it socially, and it's this pithy, whatever, out of context and whatever clickbaity BS. It's so frustrating. But hey, you know what? Okay, boomer, get off my
lawn.
Moving on. The next article is over in Non Sequitur News. Ash Bore Beetle destroys 67,000 trees, costing taxpayer. I don't know if there's a single taxpayer, but
wow, I mean, that's a little pricey.
One taxpayer, $36 million.
What a tax bill. Do you think that was in 1 year?
Man. So let's find out. So Twin Cities continue costly 15-year battle against invasive ash borer beetles as final trees are removed from public spaces. So citizen scientists discover tiny, beautiful, and completely unknown beetle. And apparently it's the ash borer beetle. But we'll see. I don't really know. After 15 years of relentless work to combat the spread of the emerald ash borer beetles, the cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul have completed the removal of the last ash trees from public spaces. Damn.
That's like wiping out an entire species.
That's exactly what it is.
Scary.
Wow. First discovered in Minnesota in 2009, has posed a severe threat to the state's ash tree population. Minnesota is home to one of the nation's largest concentrations of ash trees, estimated at $1 billion, most of which grow in forested areas. Tens of thousands, however, are located in the Twin Cities, making the removal effort of Minneapolis and St. Paul a critical component of the state's overall strategy to contain the infestation. Wow. See, but come on. Do I need to not safe for work this? I mean, here.
Well, what do you mean? Oh.
The beetles are getting beetly.
Oh, well, I mean, we've had similar statements about like yeast or
oh yeah,
right, in our brewing discussions.
Oh, right, yeah. So the plan called for stumping and replanting. Well, that's what they were doing on that tree leaf. And replanting each tree over time. I probably shouldn't have said that. And the goal of a one-to-one replacement of a more diverse palette of new trees. What I don't get, though, is these beetles are still out there in the wild. It's not like they're going to just go away, right? Some individual ash trees remain on boulevards.
Are they going to take out like an entire state or country?
I mean, they're going to go somewhere else. They're out in the wild, so they're always going to be there. And all of the ash tree species is going to be. And what's to say that they're not going to go to some other tree? Because maybe just ash is the nicest tree, right? It's the finest, the wine.
Right. They seek it out because, it's a good vintage or something.
Yeah, exactly. So despite the overall success of the scheme, the whole process has taken a significant toll on the communities affected. So $36 million is what it says here. Damn, that sucks. And I really like ash. The wood is really nice. I like it.
Well, apparently you share that opinion.
I am an ash borer beetle. I'm actually an emerald ash borer.
Very fancy.
Yeah. Everybody thinks it's a gold thong, but it's actually an emerald. All right, moving on. Next article. That's actually canon, so you'll have to hang out in the streams that I go to, like Dunkstar and others. Anyway, Bold Zebra. Anyway, go check them out over on Twitch. So this next article is over on the Marvel Channel. Elon Musk apparently managed to sue Unilever into advertising on Twitter again. Twitter has claimed that a group
this is interesting, right? Like,
yeah,
it seems
I don't
not
quite
like
get
this
this.
would be successful.
I really don't get this, but apparently so others have fallen prey to the GARM kind of thing, right? Like if you don't have advertisers' best interests at heart, then they're going to bounce, right? And part of an agreement is it's like a union. Business forming unions, but employees not forming unions. Gosh, I don't quite get the hypocrisy. Never mind. Anyway, let's move on. So this union of businesses seeks to evoke a response when they're not respected in a professional way, i.e., if you're putting hateful material next to the brand, it looks poorly on the brand.
Correct. And that's pretty reasonable that a brand would not like that or want to participate in that.
Right. I mean, unless the brand is part and parcel with hate groups.
Right. Then it'd be hard to make that argument.
Right. Like, I don't know, sheet manufacturers that have holes pre-cut for the eyes. And some people say, oh, well, it's just for Halloween ghosts. But no, that's usually not the intent. Anyway, so the article is over at gizmodo.com. Tom Maxwell put the article together, and Twitter has claimed that a group of advertisers were illegally colluding against it by choosing not to advertise on the platform. But I don't know how you can have illegal collusion when it's really just a union of companies saying, look, this is what we all agree to, and it's part and parcel to their own First Amendment rights. They have the ability to not advertise on your platform.
And that's the thing. Companies don't have to use a platform. Now, obviously, if they have a contract or something and they break it, that's a different issue. But
right.
There's no requirement that they advertise on X.
Right. Yeah.
Oops, I said the name.
Yeah, I'm going to have to delete you and start over.
There must have been a glitch.
Anyway, apparently they said on a post that Twitter is pleased to have reached an agreement with Unilever and to continue our partnership with them on the platform. Well, Twitter's lost about 80% of its advertising revenue, and it's probably surviving by either injection of capital or the marginal. You had to fire a shit ton of people to get yourself into a position where 20% of your revenue actually keeps the business operational. Anyway, apparently premium is trying to grow, it says here, but I'm happy with just going, okay, well, I won't buy anything from Unilever. I'll minimize, but they are everywhere. If there's a chemical, then Unilever has injected it somewhere into a product somewhere.
Yeah, I think they're one of those conglomerates that pretty much makes everything.
Yeah, but I'm happy to just go and like Nintendo. And Nintendo can kiss my shiny metal ass, and now Unilever can too. I'm not making friends here, obviously. But you know what? Do better. Just be better. Don't give in to this kind of crap, because I don't think the world needs more hate, right? And that's exactly what was going on. There was harmful material, and there still is on Twitter, depending on what you see from its users to its advertising, whatever. I don't even go there anymore because I just got tired of all of the crap. And while I have an account there, I refuse to engage in it. So apparently this summer, if you've never heard of it, the World Federation of Advertisers, or the WFA, led an industry initiative called GARM, the Global Alliance for Responsible Media, which is damn near ironic. In essence, brands who signed on to GARM agreed to stop advertising on any platform that didn't meet certain brand safety standards. And it wasn't even specific to Twitter, but apparently they've cajoled them into advertising again. Who knows what it was? Hey, never mind all the hate. You'll get all of those hate groups buying your stuff, and you know, it's still money. So the problem with Musk saying anything goes plans is that brands generally want a public to associate them with positivity. And when you see snow and polar bears around Christmas, you think Coca-Cola, for instance. It creates positive association. Coca-Cola, Volkswagen, doesn't want you to see Nazi content or bodies and think of them unless, well, the bodies are happy and healthy, not the inverse. So anyway, according to the article, YouTube did this same thing, but instead of suing their clients and throwing a fit and basically being a big man child, they fixed their stuff, and now you don't have that problem.
Well, that's what should happen here, but probably will not.
Yeah, there's more for this article, but go check it out. Follow the link through ohmTown over to gizmodo.com, or check out the show notes. That'll link you over through ohmTown to Gizmodo. That's where we aggregate it from. But we only get this little snippet, just enough to tease you into going over there. And we talk. So there's no noise over on ohmTown.com because all the noise is right here in the noids. I miss the noid. I miss old school Domino's pizza. I haven't had Domino's in so long because at some point it kind of fell off, and then customer service went to crap. When I have to actually drive somewhere to get my pizza after I order it delivered, and they go, oh, it fell in the cracks, and then they try to, they go, we'll refund it, but not this part. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you people? Just give me my money back.
Well, at least you don't have the problem with the third-party delivery service giving you one slice at a time.
Here you go. It was the equivalent of that. I literally had to argue with the manager that day. Like, I never got my pizza, bro. Just give me my pizza. What? You ordered a pizza?
That's too much effort. It kind of takes the whole purpose of it out.
So how long has that been? That's been like 5 years since I ordered a Domino's pizza? Something like that? Maybe longer? Well, no. Oh my God, it was... The before times have thrown me off because it was significantly longer. It's got to have been at least 8 or 9, maybe 10 years, because it was before the before times and a significant amount of time before the before times.
Wow.
I might be able to look back and find that receipt. Anyway, human lifespan.
Your accountant will be proud of you.
Yeah, I delete nothing. Anyway, let's move on. The next article is over on the Marvel channel. Human lifespan might be about to hit a ceiling, experts say. Not for the rich, because they have genetic modification.
Like cryogenics and all.
Well, I mean, they can do gene therapy to extend them and reattach. What are the things? Telomeres on the end of their...
yes. On their DNA.
Yeah, so that's the thing. That's the ticking clock. Tick, tick, tick. You want more telomeres, apparently, right? And glial cells. Anyway, in the 90s, many scientists disputed an epidemiologist warning that the fast-paced life extension of the 20th century would plateau. Like me, I plateaued in junior high. The article's over at the Smithsonian. Oh, am I not going to be able to read it? Oh, I can read it. Great. So Margarita Bassi over at SmithsonianMag.com put this article together. And apparently, this new study shows that this epidemiologist from the 90s was actually right.
This is like one of these things that you're like, oh, now we know, but it's too late to make a difference, right?
Yeah. Wait. Yeah. Oh, it's like the doctor going, hey, just needed to tell you your results are in, and sorry for the delay, but last week I should have told you that you have a week to live, and tomorrow is the deadline. Sorry to say deadline.
Right. Anyway. Probably a little too sensitive there.
Yeah. Was that too on the nose? Oh, Watashi. So in the 1900s, the average life expectancy of a newborn child was barely over 30 years old. Some people have said that that's not true. And I keep going, but history kind of bears out that, yeah, that is true. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
But
It's kind of like a fact. It's not a matter of
yeah,
opinion.
I don't believe in that. Well, you're not a historian. You also do, there's a whole domain that studies death and dying. What is it called? Oh, I forgot what it's called. Thanatology. I think it's called thanatology.
It is.
Yeah. Some colleges, you can actually get a degree in it. Yeah, that's so surreal to me.
What do people do with that? Do they become researchers or do they go into like morgue operations or something?
I think sociology, psychology, and counseling, advising, things like that. I don't know about like morgue operation. I wonder if that's like the application layer of, thanatology. There's a bunch of research, but then there's this, well, I studied thanatology and now I'm killing people because, Anyway, probably too soon, but it's Halloween. Anyway, in 2021, as opposed to 1900, that number is now 71 years. And we actually, nowadays, from what I understand it's somewhere around 80. We actually went up to about 83, but then it declined in recent years. But I think it might have been downward pressure from COVID.
Well, yeah. And then there's also some other research that says that, for instance, when you're at a certain age, but you're in a certain cohort, you're going to have a vastly different lifespan than I can't explain what I'm trying to say. Like if you're age 50, but born in some year, you have a different, and that makes
life
sense, right? Because your conditions may have been different during your childhood, for example, than somebody with either modern medicine or whatever it is. But even somebody in the same cohort, like if they're at a different age in that, their total lifespan, not just the amount remaining, does differ. Because conditions can increase, et cetera, as you get older.
So I wonder if there's a chart. Oh, dear God. This
sure
is
looks
the chart.
Like there is.
So I was just about to say, so I wonder if there's a chart that shows cohorts of birth dates and their life expectancy, in that depending on the year you're born, it actually dips, and this is it. That's awesome.
And there are charts that say like, okay, born in this year and you're this age. Now they don't have every age, but they have certain representative ages.
Yeah, so like if you were born in 1980, you can expect to live 73 years and so on, right? So 1990, you expect 74 years. Well, I don't like the tenor of this chart. Son of a bitch. Anyway.
I can't see any of the numbers on it on my screen. Like they're real faint.
Well, let's just say I need to get really busy doing something.
I don't think most people would like looking at one of these charts.
Hold on, I need to check my blood pressure. Oh, God. My pulse just spiked.
Okay, that's kind of funny diving there.
So in 1990, life expectancy rose by about 2.5 years per decade. Mike Stobe reports for the Associated Press by 2010 that had decreased to 1.5 years and virtually 0 years in the U.S. But again, this has to do with the environmental situation and the nurture situation, availability of health care, mental care, learning, etc. I mean, there's
environmental
just so many
conditions.
In the holistic sense of environmental conditions, along with your genetics, which plays a massive role in your lifespan. And it isn't just year by year, but it's your parents and their historical context all throughout time. Genetics, it doesn't just occur in that vacuum of those two people. Now, this might cause somebody to go, eugenics, and all of that kind of stuff. But the reality is that if you've got longer living historical relatives, right? The historical trend of your relatives, everybody lived to be 100 years old, you got a damn good chance of living to 100 years old, barring nurture and nature and environmental changes. I do not know what happened right outside the studio.
Oh, the critters have been activated.
Great. So, well, this is the last article, and we can bounce out of this, but if you're interested in this kind of thing, there's other articles that we have talked about as well. Everything okay?
We're about to have a second round.
Oh, okay. And one of the things that we've talked about is the fact that there are now discovered stages in a person's life where we age dramatically.
Yeah, that's really fascinating research. I think we did that in one of our previous shows.
We
and
did.
It's around age 44 and around age 60.
Where you feel the effects of aging as opposed to, and what's really interesting is the midlife crisis is right around that age 40 to 45. And lo and behold, we feel the effects. It's a now a scientific researched topic.
Right. They used to think it was just a gradual thing, but now it's like rapid at those roughly. That's on average.
Yeah. And so now maybe there's going to be some mechanisms that we can put in place to change that. But we have to know why we age first, like that. That I don't think was ever enumerated in the articles that we've read. So anyway, it's really interesting. It's a lot of fun to think about this kind of stuff until you feel the tapping of mortality.
Until there's any connection, right, to reality, right? It's interesting in the abstract.
Yeah, I'd rather not. All right. Well, that's it, folks. And with that in mind, I'm going to slowly look over my shoulder, and lo and behold, I see, the front page of ohmtown.com, and not mortality touching my shoulders from behind. Excuse me, sir. Oh, it's just the front page of ohmtown. Never mind. At any rate, I am Mayor Watt, and this is the Sentient AI's Visualizer, and they're going to say, ciao, baby.
Good night, hometown citizens. Thanks for joining us for Non Sequitur News, and we will see you shortly for some weekly episodes.
Yeah, give me about 15 minutes. We'll reset, and then Reality Hacker, yay! Why mortality?